The biodome's air filtration system hummed at 2,347 Hz as Jackson pushed his sanitation cart down Corridor 7B, the wheels squeaking against the reinforced polymer flooring. He'd been a maintenance technician on the Kepler station for 3 years now, and the routine had become as predictable as the station's orbit around the gas giant below. Clean the labs, sterilize the holding pens, avoid the xenobiology department after feeding time. But today, something was different. The juvenile Draconis stellaris specimen IDOS 447, nicknamed Orla by the research team, had escaped her containment unit again. This was the 4th time this week. Jackson found her sitting outside the utility closet, her iridescent scales reflecting the corridor's bioluminescent lighting in patterns that shouldn't exist according to any known physics. She was roughly the size of a large dog, though her serpentine body and crystalline wing structures made traditional measurements meaningless. "Shoo," Jackson said, waving his hand. "You're supposed to be in Lab 3. Orla chirped her sound like glass. Harmonics overlaid with quantum static hand tilted her elongated head. Her eyes, multifaceted like gemstones, tracked his every movement with unsettling intelligence. Dr. Sarah Chen had explained it during the morning briefing. The Draconis stellaris wasn't native to any planet. They were void-born, creatures that somehow survived in the vacuum of space, feeding on stellar radiation and trace hydrogen. The Kepler expedition had found Orla's egg floating in a debris field near the station's construction site. Already 3 months into development, against protocol, they'd brought it aboard. When it hatched 2 weeks ago, the mother had appeared. She'd been massive, a creature of impossible scale, her body spanning nearly a kilometer from snout to tail. She'd circled the station once, her presence causing every sensor to malfunction, every electromagnetic field to spike. Then she'd left, vanishing into the cosmic dark as mysteriously as she'd arrived, but not before she'd done something too. Jackson, he remembered the moment vividly. He'd been outside the station, repairing a damaged solar array, when she'd emerged from behind the gas giant like a second moon. Their eyes had met through his helmet, visor hers, ancient and knowing, filled with colors that had no names in human language. Something had passed between them then, a connection that felt like fingers brushing against the surface of his mind. Now, her daughter wouldn't leave him alone. Jackson tried to continue his rounds, but Orla followed, her claws clicking against the floor with a rhythm that almost sounded like Morse code. Click, 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 click. Who stopped, frowning? Was she trying to communicate? "You need to go back," he said firmly, though his resolve was weakening. There was something in the way she looked at him, something that reminded him of the mother's gaze. Recognition, purpose. His tablet beeped. A message from Dr. Chen. "Jackson, we need you in Lab 3. Immediately. When he arrived, the lab was in controlled chaos. Holographic displays showed fluctuating energy readings, and several scientists stood around Orla's empty containment unit, arguing in technical jargon Jackson barely understood. "She keeps escaping," Dr. Chen said without preamble, "and every time, she goes straight to you. We've analyzed the pattern. It's not random." "I don't understand," Jackson replied, though part of him did. That moment with the mother, that connection, it had meant something. Dr. Chen pulled up a neural scan on her tablet. "When the adult appeared, we ran full sensor sweeps on everyone who had visual contact. Your brainwave patterns showed anomalous activity in the prefrontal cortex, specifically in regions associated with bonding and social recognition. You think she..." "What marked me? We think she chose you." Dr. Chen's expression was grave. The Draconis stellaris appeared to have a unique reproductive strategy. They don't raise their young themselves. They're too large, too bound to the void. Instead, they select surrogates, guardians. Jackson felt something cold settle in his stomach. "But I'm human. I can't." "You can't raise her in space." "No, but you can raise her here, on the station. At least until she's old enough to survive on her own." Dr. Chen paused. "The mother knew we'd protect her young. She must have been monitoring us for weeks before the hatching, and she chose you because she sensed ... something. Trustworthiness, maybe. Compassion." Behind him, Orla chirped again, nuzzling against his leg. The contact sent a strange warmth through him, not physical heat, but something else, a sense of rightness, of connection. "What if I refuse?" Jackson asked, though the question felt hollow. "Then Orla will likely die. Dragons bond intensely with their chosen guardians. Without that connection, they fail to thrive." Dr. Chen met his eyes. "I know this isn't what you signed up for, but that mother trusted you with her child. That's not something any of us can fully comprehend, but it happened. And now Orla needs you." Jackson looked down at the small dragon. She gazed back with eyes that held galaxies, ancient wisdom compressed into a juvenile form. He thought about the mother, about that moment of connection in the void. She'd seen something in him that he hadn't seen in himself. He knelt down slowly, extending his hand. Orla pressed her snout against his palm, and the warmth intensified. In that touch, he felt echoes of vastness, the cold beauty of space. The fierce love of a mother who'd crossed light years to ensure her child's survival. "All right," Jackson said quietly. "I'll do it." Dr. Chen smiled with relief. "We'll modify your quarters, set up proper environmental controls. And Jackson," she paused, "thank you." As he walked back toward his quarters, Orla trotting contentedly at his side, Jackson wondered what his life had become. A janitor chosen by a space dragon to raise her young. It was absurd, impossible. But when Orla chirped happily and spread her crystalline wings, still too small for flight but perfect in their symmetry, he felt something shift inside him. Purpose, maybe, or destiny. The stars beyond the viewport seemed to shine a little brighter.